G'day everyone and welcome to Brushes with Beck. In today's video, rather than focusing on a finished piece, I thought I would focus on just a portion of the piece that I have done. I wanted to focus on this duck's bill because it is a smooth texture on a textured surface. Now the surface I am using for this is the Canson Mi-teintes pastel paper. This is the paper that has two sides, the textured honeycomb side and the reverse side, which is a smoother texture. The fine grain, that's the side that I'm using, is the fine grain for this piece. Now, previously when I've used Canson Mi-teintes, I've done a lot of feathers or fur, so the texture hasn't really been an issue. I've just kind of used the texture to my advantage to create more of that texture in the fur and feathers. However, with this piece, the bill of the duck is quite prominent. It's quite a distinct part of this piece, so I thought it was important to show you guys how you can achieve a smooth texture on this paper. And as with almost anything with colored pencils, it's really just about layering. I've started with my lighter colors for the most part, and I've gone in relatively lightly. I'm not covering the paper with them completely, and I'm overlapping those colors to create my color gradients and using my additional colors over the top to help blend them out. So I'm putting in my more prominent colors first, like my green gold and I think it's sky blue that I used, and mapping in my lights and darks a little bit. And I'm using my cool grays to blend out those different colors, and also my earth green to help sort of merge them together a little bit. So obviously paying close attention to my reference photo and just slowly working through this and building up those layers. You really don't want to go too hard too fast on this paper, because you can very quickly accidentally fill up the tooth and it makes it very difficult to apply color over the top. But if you slowly build up those layers with your colored pencil, you can achieve multiple layers quite easily. Now what you saw there was me just checking my outline against my sketch of this duck, because I wanted to make sure that that black tip to the bill was accurately represented, that I was going out far enough with that. So that's what I was doing there, just laying the sketch over the top to check that. So as I said, just making sure that you layer up carefully with this paper. With the black, I'm not putting in any underlayers. I'm just going straight in nice and heavily with the black to create those dark areas. And if you are used to watching my videos, if you've seen some of my videos before where I work, you know that I absolutely love to use cotton buds for blending. In this piece, I haven't used any cotton buds at all to blend out the colors. I've been using strictly the pencils themselves and just working them together, like I said, just overlapping them gently where the colors meet, and then using other colors, sort of mid-ranges and lighter tones, to sort of blend out those two colors together, and working back and forth a little bit between those colors to get the blend that I'm after. Because not only does this duck's bill need to look smooth, but it also needs to look like it is wet. So that's where I've got a few of the little white highlights around the lower rim of the duck's bill, and a couple of little flecks a little higher up, and that's just because the duck's bill is wet, and we need to make sure that that is reflected in this sketch. So there's actually quite a lot of detail and color variation in the bill, and paying close attention to that will, as always with your values, really help it make it look like a realistic piece. But as I said to begin with, making sure you layer up those colors carefully will help you to maintain a smooth result like I have here. Once again, you really don't want to go too hard too early on this paper, or you will have trouble getting that smooth result. You want to apply many layers over the top of one another, unless you are applying just the one solid color like this black here, which you can just sort of burnish the paper with when you're applying a solid black like that in your really dark areas. But everything else you want to make sure you're going in quite lightly with the pencils, so that you have the opportunity to layer over the top a lot and to combine those colors together using your other pencils. Because one of the best techniques for blending your coloured pencils is to use the pencils themselves. That's what they are designed to do. So take full advantage of that. I've just slowed down this section of the video right at the end here so that you can get a better idea of how this bill has ended up looking. I'm not sure if I'm still going to add a few little touches here and there, but I think for the most part it is done. And you can see I'm just adding some Cabot Mortem Violet over the back edge of the bill there, just to add a little bit of warmth into that area where I see it on my reference photo. So this has just been a quick little video from me this week, but I hope you found it useful and you can see what you can achieve on a textured paper with the right technique. So thank you very much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up, like it, comment down below, and I'll see you next week for another video. Stay creative.